आरबीआई का पैसा छीन लिया और देश को इकोनॉमिक इमरजेंसी की तरफ धकेल दिया। ये बहुत गंभीर बात है। This government, we are charging it of monumental mismanagement of the Indian economy, which is now in a serious crisis. It is not a recession or a downturn. The situation is grim. India is now in the midst of the worst ever financial crisis, where the government is pushing the country towards bankruptcy. Because of its policies, the Prime Minister and the Minister, Finance Minister, cannot remain in denial, which they are. They are deflecting continuously public attention from the real issues. Yesterday's decision is a confirmation of what we have been forewarning about the state of the Indian economy, particularly with reference to the Reserve Bank of India's unprecedented decision of transferring its entire surplus in one go to the government, 1,76,000 crore, which is also the entire income of the Reserve Bank of India, the central bank, for the last financial year. Except the Jalan committee, which was set up after the government pressurized and pushed the Reserve Bank to give a part of its contingency reserves. There's the CRB, the contingency reserve buffer, which was resisted to by the former governors, including Raghuram Rajan and Urjit Patel, who resigned. The Jalan committee, the first one which made its recommendation, bringing down the CRB to the minimal level. That's the bottom line. Below that you cannot go, because the RBI's own rating internationally as a central bank will collapse. So that has been brought down to the lowest level, which nobody is willing to accept, to 5.5, shaving off 1.3% of the CRB. Before I go further into it and the catastrophic consequences of this decision, it's very clear that the government has done it out of sheer desperation. Its policies have brought the Indian economy to ruin. Our GDP has been continuously falling. Last quarter, it was 5.8%, and the Q1 numbers expected. They are masters in embellishing numbers. If after this, what we are saying, they may change a percentage here or there, 0.1 or 2, not more. But it cannot be more than 5.6%, which would be a 7-year low. The industrial manufacturing has collapsed. 1.2, that's the government number, which is hardly any manufacturing growth or job creation. Rupee, as I have mentioned, is continuously falling. It has lost its value close to 4%, maybe more after yesterday's fall. And it is the worst performing currency of Asia. Please note that. The unemployment has soared to 8.2%. The real unemployment, because you have to look at the others who are underemployed, the street hawker, somebody who is selling peanuts or eggs now they are not employed. So the real unemployment in India is close to 20%. Major industrial sectors are collapsing because of the fall in consumption and demand, primarily because people don't have incomes. As I've already mentioned, given the numbers of the automobile sector, I will not repeat the numbers. But it's a very sharp fall when we look at high 20s, both for passenger vehicles and commercial vehicles. It is also linked to the crisis of the non-banking financial corporations, NBFCs, which used to give money to the poor, especially those who buy two-wheelers, the young people, or the salaried class, whether a motorcycle or a scooter. The second largest employer in India after agriculture is the textiles, and the textile sector has rung the alarm bell. They have issued full-page advertisements in national and regional papers appealing for help. It's a SOS from this sector. Agricultural distress is very well known. All the engines of the Indian economy are just stuttering. So we do not know how the takeoff will take place. And after this transfer from the Reserve Bank, there is nothing more for the Reserve Bank to transfer because the red line they have touched. There is a obliging, pliant RBI governor who has done which none of his predecessors was willing to do. We demand that the government immediately come out with a white paper on the state of the Indian economy. We know they are less than honest. They will try to fudge the data, embellish numbers, but they must do it.